The lords are kind of falling down, but like, his eyes look so sad. Oh dear. Hi there, Michelle here, also known as Fancy Dinosaur Tea Party, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be going over everything that I have crocheted / made with yarn over the year. A few weeks ago, I did make a video of me going over everything that I sewed, and this is going to be everything that I used yarn for. Most of it is crocheting projects, but there is a few things that I just made with yarn and I want to show it to you. Again, I am going to try to go in chronological order of when I made it to my most recent make of yarn, whatnot things. Christmas is over, so I kind of changed this up. I don't know if I like this as a curtain. Been trying to thrift a new curtain. Unfortunately, my thrifting adventures have been really bad, and if you watched my last thrift with me, went to countless stores looking for something so specific that I don't think I'm gonna find it. Anywho, I wrote down a list of all the things that I made because I am awful at remembering things, and I'm probably gonna forget something. If you watched my last one where I went over everything I sewed, I completely forgot I made a pajama set, and then I took apart the pants because I needed the elastic for something else, so I never really got around to wearing it. Anywho, also, like, in the description below, I will be listing everything that I'm showing in this video, so if you're like, hey, that's cool, I kind of want to make it, go into the description and there will be a link for the video. So I'm gonna start off with the first thing that I made in 2021. First thing was this cute little cake tissue box. I love it. I love it so much. I think it is so cute. I did crochet the little strawberries and then with, what is it called? I don't know. With like this square grid plastic thingy, I made the shape of the cake, and then I crocheted some baubles to go around it. The strawberries, I mean, they're a little deformed. I mean, I made this almost a year ago. Don't really remember when I made it. I still think this is adorable. Doing these pieces here took me literally forever. It took me forever to make, but it took a really long time, and now seeing that there's other patterns, it looks a lot easier, and I should have done a different design. But anywho, I give this a 10 out of 10. I know the strawberries are a little deformed, but this is just like so cute. All my projects are over there, and looking at everything, even the cardigans that I made, I think that this has to be my favorite thing that I made. Even out of all the dresses that I made, this is the best thing that I made in 2021 was this Kleenex box. The next thing I made was the crocheted frog / fork. I will show a picture right here what I'm talking about. It was this meme, and it was this sad looking kind of frog sitting on a cake, and my sister wanted that for her birthday, so I crocheted it, and she thought I was gonna make her like this little tiny thing, and this guy turned out to be like this big. Like, I can't show it to you in this video because I gave it to my sister. So I'll just show you a photo of what it looked like, or what it looks like. That was like one of my first crocheting videos, and I had no idea what I was doing, and I was also making it up as I was going along. I was making this frog up as I was going along. I'm like, okay, he needs a round body, he needs a round head, and he needs some noodles for arms. Completely made the whole thing up. I give that frog a 10 out of 10. I know. I think I'm going to be a lot more generous with my rating system for my projects because I think my crocheting projects, I did a lot better than my sewing projects. I definitely give that frog a 10 out of 10 just because I think he turned out quite well. My next crocheting project is probably my most popular video on YouTube, and that would be the bandana that I made. At this point has like 25,000 views, and like that's amazing for me. That's the most viewed video that I have. Actually, you know what? It's tied for another video. We'll get to that one because it's also a crocheting video. And I think that's another reason why I do my crocheting videos. I know like people follow me for other content, but like right now crocheting videos get me the most views. Thus makes me a little bit of money, just a little bit of money. After I had made this one, I actually made myself a blue one, and I bought pink and I bought purple yarn to make more of these, and then I never got around to it. Yeah, let's cut to my yarn that I haven't used for anything. This is my yarn. Lots of yarn. It goes all the way down to the bottom. I even have more yarn than what you see here. This type of yarn here, I actually have in a different box, so I have more of this yarn. No matter how much yarn I have, I never seem to have the right color for the project that I am working on. I have a lot of yarn. I give this, that's the backwards. I think I give this probably, I'm gonna say an 8 out of 10. They're still like so adorable. And they just go on your head. Whoop. you know, just like that. I think they're so cute. They're adorable. I should wear them more. I forget. I'm really bad. Like, I love bandanas. I love hair scarves. They just look so cute. And then I just forget to wear them. But also it's hat season, so I've been wearing a lot of hats lately. Another part of this video is things that I would have done maybe a little differently. I think I would use even thinner yarn. I just think it's still a little too thick. I think if I would use a thinner yarn, and although using a thinner yarn would probably mean that I would have to make more squares so it's just as big and it would take me longer to make it, I think it would fit on my head nicer, like it would lay on my head nicer and not be so poofy, although like these are still cute, so I definitely give these an 8 out of 10. Next up is kind of going out of order but also kind of staying in the same order. The next project that I did that is tied with the bandana videos at like 25,000 views is the how to crochet a strawberry, and I had made this video because I couldn't find anywhere that properly told me how to make a strawberry. The only one that actually did was in a foreign language and they didn't have subtitles in English, so I was just kind of watching and being like, okay, that kind of looks like a double crochet, that kind of looks like a single crochet, I kind of can figure it out, and then I made my own video. But what I ended up doing was I took a sweater that I already had and I just attached the strawberries onto it, so it was kind of like a thrift flip. The sweater, I actually, well, it's this sweater. I took it apart and reused the yarn to make this strawberry cardigan here. Took the strawberries off the old sweater, then I took the sweater, cut it up into parts, re-rolled the yarn, and then crocheted it into this. The strawberries, I give it 10 out of 10. I think I did a really good job on the strawberries. I love them. But the cardigan itself, I think I give like a 6 out of 10. And I know, it's really darling. It's really cute. Just think that the yarn was too old, and I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like when yarn gets too old, it gets too stretchy and it just doesn't work well. I just had problems crocheting it, and then I took the easy way out, and instead of doing single crochets, which I should have done, I did double crochets, and that kind of deformed the cardigan. When I was like measuring it out, I had the right measurements, but because I was doing double crochet, it kind of stretched a little bit. I don't know if that makes any sense. The arms turned out way longer than they needed to be. It sits a little weird on my body. Like, it just sits a little weird, and I think that it would look a lot nicer if I just had done a single crochet. If you're gonna do this project, just know what type of crochet you're gonna do. I personally think that you should do a single crochet. I think it would look a lot better. That being said, I may do it again. I may get some newer yarn, or even like some thicker, bulky yarn. Ooh. No, Michelle, you have so many projects to work on right now. You don't need to redo a project that you already redid. Okay, in the future, I might get some chunky yarn and just redo this in a single crochet. Wanted to, like, you know, not have to buy yarn. Also, at the time, I don't think I had any money to buy yarn, so that's why I took apart this to redo it. 6 out of 10 for the cardigan and a 10 out of 10 for the strawberries, because I think I did a good job on the strawberries. The next project I did was this granny square bag, and funny enough, this granny square bag, I originally had wanted to make this into a cardigan. The original granny square slash sunflower cardigan idea that I had, I did something else, and we'll get to that one. I ended up like starting to make it. What I did, and I wouldn't advise it, I was making each part like separately. So what I did is, I think I made like 90, I don't know why I thought I needed 90 of the centerpieces, just 90 of these. And then after I was done those, then I was gonna do the pink row, do all of them the pink row, and then move on and do all of them the orange, and then the brown, and then connect them. I just don't think that really works, especially because when you're doing granny squares, they tend to roll, so it's good to get a granny square stretcher or holder, and I usually just got a scrap piece of wood and put some nails in it. And then I made another one, and I'm looking at it, and I sat on it. And I know, you're like, how do you sit on it? I don't know, I just sat on it and I broke it. So I don't have that anymore. And I just made it out of some dowels and some glue. So it wasn't like I bought it. I think this is really cute. I really like it. I like how I did the scallop border. I just think this is, it's a darling. I give this probably like an 8 out of 10. And I know, like, it looks pretty good, and I should give it a 10 out of 10 because it's pretty cute. But, yeah, I give it an 8 because I don't really use it. And I know I should. It's just when I go shopping, I don't want to carry my purse and then carry this on top of it, because this like rolled up is not going to fit nicely in my purse. So I just prefer not to use it. I should though. I should. 8 out of 10 for this bag. My next project, which I originally wasn't gonna make, but then someone had suggested that I do make it, and then I did make it, is this Gator Loki. He's seen better days. He's kind of falling apart. I'm not a toy maker, okay? I'm not a stuffed animal maker. The lords are kind of falling down, but like, his eyes look so sad. Oh dear. You're still good, you're still good. Yeah, he's still pretty cute. I think I did really well. The horns, I think I should have used like something better inside them, because all it is just like pillow stuffing, and then you can kind of see the metal part sticking out, and that was just like craft metal that I wrapped a bunch of times. It did sit up like this for a little bit, but it's like that now. He's still doing pretty good, and for something again that I made up as I went along, I think I did a pretty good job. I'm gonna give him a 9 out of 10. He's more like a 6 out of 10, but I don't want to hurt his feelings. So 9 out of 10. His little horns aren't staying up, and sometimes the yarn just kind of comes undone and I have to, you know, squish it back in there. I mean, I did like the Loki show. That was pretty good, although I think WandaVision's my favorite just because I love the aesthetic and I love all of the outfits. And currently I just finished the Hawkeye show, and again, if you watched my last thrifting video, you know that I'm looking for that girl's coat and I cannot find it anywhere. I will. Hopefully. Next up is not a crocheting project, but it does involve some yarn. Pom-pom rug. It's already missing a pom-pom, and literally the pom-pom fell off like a week after I made this. I would have used different colors because you can't really tell the difference. Like, there's 3 colors. No, wait. There's 4 colors. Can you find the 4 colors? This is like a pink, this is an orange, this is a red orange, and obviously this is a yellow. You really can't even tell that there's different colors in here. I give this like a 4 out of 10 because I never used it. It's okay. Like, it's not bad. It's not the greatest thing I've ever made. I think this is one of the first projects that I made when I moved back home and into this camper. What did I say, 4 out of 10? 4 out of 10. Next up is another project that I made that is actually still pretty popular. I mean, it's not as popular as the other 2 videos that I mentioned, but still gets a lot of views. This is like the Sunburst sunflower cardigan that I made back in September, October. I think I finished it in September, but I started it back in like August. It's really cute. A few things that I kind of wish I would change is that I just don't like how it sits like on my shoulders. I feel like it's a little too wide. Like, I wish it would sit like closer into my neckline, but it just feels like it's always off. And because of that, I never really wore it as much as I would like to, just because of how like weird it is here. I think what I might, or what I'm not gonna redo it. I'm not gonna take this apart and redo it, but I think what I learned from my next project, again, we'll get into that, is that I think I should have made the squares smaller. I think if I would have made them smaller, I would have made more of them, and I think it would have made like this part fit me a little bit better, because the next cardigan that I want to go through, or I'm going to talk about, is this checkered one. I did make them smaller, and the way I put them together just fit me a lot better. This one's pretty good. I think I'd give this like an 8 out of 10. It would be a 10 out of 10 if I wore it more. So I don't want to like be like 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, and never wore it or never use these things. So I deduct points for if I found them practical and actually used them. I think I might have worn this like a handful of times. And a handful of times is like, what, 5? Because you have like 5 fingers on your hand. Is that how it is? Still darling. It's just, it's kind of uncomfortable right here to fit into. So if you want to make this, just letting you know that's how it fits. Next up, this. I love this. I love it so much. I've worn this so many times. It's just so cute. I did do this one wrong. As you can see, like this, how it's like clean, and this, how you can see those, that should have been on the inside, and I told myself I will fix this, and I made this in October, and it is December, the end of December, and I hadn't fixed it. But I mean, like, no one's coming up to me and telling me, hey, your cuff is wrong. I may or may not fix it. We'll see. It just fits me so much better. Like, this is a 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 because it just fits me nice. I like it. This and my Kleenex box, both of them I really like. The Kleenex box I just like a lot more because it just looks like food. I like food looking things. This is my second favorite thing that I made all year, including like everything that I sewed. This is the second best thing that I think that I made. Yeah, let's just go with that. I just love this. Last two things. The one thing, rose granny square. I'll just show it right here. I'm eventually gonna make it into a cardigan, and I just kind of got sidetracked. But I give this rose granny square a 10 out of 10. This was a pattern that I had made up. Like, it was a pattern that I Frankenstein of a bunch of other patterns that I saw on YouTube, combined it all into one to make this 10 out of 10. And eventually I will be getting to making that cardigan, because I was actually gonna wait to do this whole like yarn video until January, because I'm like, I'll have time to finish it. I don't have time to finish it. So that's gonna be a 2022 project eventually. Like I said, I got sidetracked from making that rose square cardigan is because I started making hats. I made hats. This was the hat that I made my last crocheting video. I really like it. It's just a giant rectangle, and when you're done, you sew it at the top like this, and then you flip it. Got yourself a hat. Well, I first started with a green one, then I made this one. Then I made my friend one, who also wanted the same one, so I technically made two of these. And then I ended up making this one, which is this cute little white one that is just like, it's adorable. It's like an off-white one. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Really do like crocheting these. They're super easy. I kind of want to make a balaclava. I hate that word and I hate pronouncing it, and I don't think I can pronounce it right. Anyways, I kind of want to make that, and I saw this one video where it was like, you pull this down and then it covers your neck, but then you can roll it up and then it becomes a hat. So I might make that video. I just gotta find the perfect yarn, even though I have a bunch of yarn, but I don't know if any of that yarn is the yarn that I want to use. Anyways, it's December, it's hat season. I'm gonna make as many hats as I like. That will do it for this video. I think, again, my favorite projects were the Kleenex box and the black and white cardigan. The pom-pom rung is probably the least favorite of the year, and it took a lot of yarn, and I didn't like the colors that I picked. So again, color theory, that's a thing. Make sure you do your research before you buy the yarn, because then you're stuck with the yarn and you gotta do something with it. Anywho, if you're new to my channel, you like sewing, crafting, but mainly thrifting, why not subscribe? You can also follow me on my Instagram, which is Fancy Dinosaur Tea Party. I think that is it, so y'all have a good day now.